Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today's toy hunt video is gonna be a little bit different. I guess it's gonna be kind of like a toy hunt slash toy haul video. Let me explain. So this past weekend, I was actually up in Chicago, Illinois. I was visiting with some friends as I was working on a pretty big project of mine. Yep. So in the downtime of our photography, we had some hours to kill, and we decided to go around the city and hit up some of the toy shops. Now, there are a ton of great toy locations in Chicago. I haven't hit all of them yet, as I don't have the opportunity to be up there as much as I'd like to, but we did hit some of them. Some of them I've obviously been to before and featured here on this channel. And while I didn't have my equipment with me or really plan to do a whole toy hunting video, what I instead opted to do while I was in each of these stores is shoot some reels for Instagram and or TikTok. Now, this is something that I've been doing pretty regularly on my Instagram account and also over on my TikTok account. If you're following me on those platforms, you might have already seen these videos, but essentially I'm just doing short little walkthroughs of some of the cool things that I've been seeing in these stores. So I thought what might be kind of fun to do for today's video is to show the footage that I shot at these stores, but then go into more details about what I picked up at these locations. Now, since I'm going to do it this way, that does mean when I show the footage from the stores, the orientation is going to be in the vertical orientation, and I apologize if that's annoying to you because I get it. Those are sized for a cell phone, not for if you guys are watching on TV, not for a 16:9 video, right? So if that's something that's annoying to you, I apologize. We're just trying this out today. I'm not saying this is going to be like normal content on my channel. I just thought this would be fun to do. So with that being said, let's dive in and start off with our visit to Toy de Jour. So I'm doing some toy hunting today in Chicago, Illinois at one of my favorite toy stores, Toy de Jour. I featured these guys a bunch on my channel. They have an amazing selection of retro and nostalgic toys here. I always find something when I'm here, but today's find is a little off the beaten path, a little strange, but very nostalgic for me. This is a sword from Walt Disney World on Ice. I saw this as a kid. My grandmother took me to it, and she bought me this exact sword when I was a kid. I couldn't believe that they had this here. It brings back so many memories of playing as a kid. So this is my find today. Yeah. So Toy de Jour is one of my favorite stores in Chicago. Sam and Liz are fantastic. Always love visiting that shop. I've of course featured them a few times on this channel in the past. And as you saw in the cool little walkthrough video, the item that I bought on this trip is a bit of an oddball one, a bit of a unique one, but it is indeed this amazing Disney on Ice sword. Now, as I explained in that video, this is completely nostalgia driven, and from the comments I got on that video over on Instagram, a lot of you agree with me, a lot of you understand. In fact, a lot of you seem to have this exact same sword. So when I was a young child, this was from some point in the 80s, the late 80s, my grandparents took me to a Disney on Ice show in the St. Louis area, and they bought me this sword when I was a kid. Now, of course, this is a light-up sword. It's meant to kind of like wave around and have the lights on in the dark arena while you're watching the ice show. But I liked this sword so much that it went on to be my play sword with all of my battles with my friends and just playing outside. You can see it says Dragon Master on the hilt, and well, that became me. I was Dragon Master. In fact, we created a whole team called the Dragon Masters, and this was the sword that I used. I always loved this dragon breathing fire design that's on the blade. I don't know if that's coming across. Very, very cool stuff. Now, the one that I had from my childhood, I ended up ripping the stickers off of it because those weren't cool enough. But I'm going to leave the stickers intact on this one. You can see this side says Walt Disney's World of Ice. The other side has Donald Duck dressed as a knight fighting a dragon. Now, it wasn't until after I got this home and started doing some searches that I remembered that the one I had as a kid had a sticker with Peter Pan on it, not Donald Duck. And a quick Google search showed that those do exist. In fact, apparently the stickers were random on these swords. It had different Disney characters. Also, I completely forgot that there was a blue sheath that went over this that I had on my childhood one. So maybe I need to track one of those down. I don't know. But this is such a fun addition to the collection. Just one of those great nostalgia things that brings back happy memories. So from here, we visited Times Past Collectibles, which was my very first time visiting this particular shop. So let's go ahead and get into the footage. I'm continuing my Chicago toy hunt at Times Past Collectibles. I'm completely blown away by this massive wall filled with G.I. Joe and Kenner Star Wars toys. Holy crap. And we got a boxed Castle Grayskull and a Snake Mountain and all these Battle Cats. And I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite things in here. I really want this. This vintage Masters of the Universe cassette recorder in box. Oh, that is so incredibly cool. But here's what I did find that I think I'm going to get today. It's this old He-Man roleplay shield. I've got a few of the roleplay weapons and accessories at home. I don't think I've ever seen this blue one before, and I kind of love this. Watch out, Skeletor. So this was a great little store. It was much smaller, but so much stuff was just crammed in there. It was kind of like overload, like you just didn't know where to look. And as I showed you guys in the video, one of the most impressive parts of that store was behind the counter. Just that wall filled with loose G.I. Joe and Kenner Star Wars figures. It looked incredible. Now, there were a lot of neat things hidden all around the store. I showed you guys the AM/FM radio, the Masters of the Universe radio. That is definitely something that I would love to add to my collection if I have the opportunity to do so at some point. I love that it had a box with it as well. It was a cassette player. That's so cool. I love that. And I definitely had cassette players like that as a kid, but I never had a He-Man one. But of course, the item that I walked out of there with, apparently I continued the roleplay theme for the day because I got this vintage He-Man shield. Now, I had one like this as a kid, but mine was silver, and it came packaged with a yellow power sword. And it didn't have stickers of He-Man's face all over it. I think it's hilarious that He-Man would be running around with a shield with his own face all over it. But I do now in my collection have a Skeletor shield that is similar to this that has Skeletor faces on it. So I had never actually seen this blue one before. I assume it came with one of the many vintage roleplay sets that probably had a power sword. In fact, it might have even had one similar to this. I did not buy this on the trip, but I did acquire this recently as well. So I've got my cool little power sword and roleplay shield. I don't know. This isn't the kind of thing that I actively seek out. It just so happened that I ran across it, and I love finding any vintage merchandise for Masters of the Universe. And I don't know. I love this thing. It's so funny that I bought a sword and a shield on the same day, but hey, I love it. So lastly, we went back to Bric-a-Brac Records. Now, not that long ago, I did a toy hunt over at my first visit at Bric-a-Brac Records. It's a really incredible store. Lots of great stuff stuffed in there. And it's not just toys, it's also records, as the name of the store implies. Movies, they have a coffee shop attached to it. Absolutely worth checking out if you are in Chicago. And they had a ton of new stuff, so let's roll that footage. Chicago Toy Hunt continues. I'm back at Bric-a-Brac Records, and there's so many cool things I want to show you guys here today. They've got this amazing assortment of foreign Masters of the Universe merchandise that I've never seen before. It's weird. These are dated 2000, and they're like these heavy, like kind of board displays of He-Man and Skeletor. They've got these amazing chalkboards, and these are dated 96, I believe. Or are these? No, these are 89. 89, which is a weird date for the artwork that's on them. I think a lot of this comes from Argentina, but you can see there's some really unique stuff. Look at all these pins, Masters of the Universe pins down here. And then there's these flip-flops, which are dated year 2001. It's so strange. I love them. Look at all of these birthday party favors. The artwork is so cool on these little sand buckets. This stuff is blowing my mind. I love it. Yes, so the highlight of this trip to Bric-a-Brac Records was the fact that they just got in a massive stock of international Masters of the Universe merchandise. Now, this stuff all originates from Brazil, and it is really interesting. It definitely seems to be mostly party favor themed. And the thing that was really odd about it was that the dates on all of them do not match up at all. Some of the stuff said 1989, some of it said 2000 and 2001, and obviously those dates don't make any sense for the artwork that's used, which definitely leads to a little bit of discrepancy on whether or not these might have actually been officially licensed items, but nonetheless, they were very, very cool. Doing a little bit of research after the fact, it turns out that there was recently a large warehouse find in Brazil, and that's where all of this merch is coming from. You guys might remember I ran into a little bit of this at the Kane County Toy Show this last time as well, so it is definitely getting out there now. You're probably going to see this stuff at vendor booths for the next year or so, but if history will tell us anything, this stuff will dry up eventually, so if any of this looks interesting, you might want to look into grabbing some of it. Here are the pieces that I picked up from Bric-a-Brac Records. So first of all, I got one of the swords, continuing the roleplay theme. I actually have to give a shout out to my buddy Val Staples, because he actually bought this for me and gave it to me when we left the shop. Just because I was looking, I thought they were so cool. But yeah, this is like a little, I guess this would have been like a party favor, but it's a plastic sword. I love the sticker on there of He-Man. I love the purple color. It's just super unique. See, this is one that says Mattel Inc. 1983. Now that almost seems a little more of an accurate date. That would have been at the very beginning of the Masters of the Universe toy line. So again, I don't know if this is actually officially licensed, but it is very cool. And then I also got this. I love this. Now this is a plastic mug, but you can see it's got the slime pit on there with He-Man and Stone-Dar. It says He-Man saves Stone-Dar from the slime pit, and since I'm a big fan of the slime pit, this is absolutely one of my favorite things that I bought all day. I think this thing is so incredibly cool. This one does look like it has a date on there as well. Actually, it just says Mattel Inc. There's no date, so I have no idea, but it's awesome. In addition to the Master stuff, I did also get this great carded Ninja Turtles magnet set. Now, if you guys watched my last video when I was in there, I bought some of these as well, but I bought the Donatello and Michelangelo pack. They didn't have the Leo and Raph on the shelf last time I was there, but they did this time, so now I've got all 4 magnets. This is a bunch of new old stock that they secured and were selling in the shop for only $6 for these nice little carded samples, so I really, really like this. And for only a couple bucks with their loose figures, I got this Earth Force figure. This is from Pace Toys in the 80s. One of the classic Masters of the Universe knockoff lines. I've got a couple of the Earth Force guys in my collection. I don't have this one specifically, and the fact that he had one of his accessories still strapped to his back was definitely a huge push for me to pick this one up. And like I said, he was only a couple bucks, so, you know, always love getting weirdos like this to add to the collection. Hey, so there you go, my friends. Just a fun little toy hunt, toy haul video montage of sorts for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Like I said, I was trying something new. I'm not going to make a habit of showing my Instagram videos here on YouTube, but it was just a really fun weekend, and I kind of wanted to chronicle that a little bit. And also, hey, maybe this will let you guys know that I'm doing this kind of stuff on Instagram and stuff as well. Although I know how annoying it is to like go watch stuff on several different platforms, so obviously you don't have to feel obligated to do that. I just wanted to share with you guys today, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And don't worry, some straight up regular old toy hunts will be coming back to the channel very, very soon, as well as I'm making my way out and visiting some more conventions and some more toy shops. As always, special thanks to all of my supporters over on Patreon for the extra boost of support. You guys are amazing. Thank you all so much again, and until next time.